Hello, Scott Matthias here again. How are you today? That's great. I'm going to do a vegetable curry. I'm actually going to do a vegetable coconut curry with RAWse. Now that's my take on rice, because the first question you ask is, he's going to do a curry, what is he going to use for his rice? Now what I use is actually florets of cauliflower. So you're going to need some florets of cauliflower. I also have the white stem pieces from the cauliflower that I used yesterday, and I'm going to put those in as well. The idea is to use the blender to do that, but you're also going to need some vegetables. And the idea is that the rice goes down, and then a thick dal type mixture of things like bell pepper, zucchini, carrot, some celery, which gives it a bit of saltiness, and some broccoli if you like. I don't have any broccoli at the moment, but I'm going to put some bok choy stems in as well, which are just as good. And then with the sauce, it's just a matter of the traditional components of garlic, chili, ginger, some curry powder, some cumin powder, excuse me, and some shredded coconut, which goes in that, and then some we save to the end. The other ingredient, we use some almond milk to give it the liquidity that's required, and a little bit of oil to go with it, and seasoning. The recipe's on the PDF. You might want to actually pull that out and then have a look at things as I'm going through. But essentially, what you put in your curry is up to you in terms of the vegetable component. So let's actually just take care of the RAWse for starters. You can laugh if you want. You can fall off your chair and roll around on the floor. I don't mind. So the idea is just put the florets of cauliflower in your blender and just pulse. And what we're doing is just keeping an eye on how it's going to look for a lovely ricey type consistency. A little bit more. It's getting there. There we go. I think those white stems and things that I put in here are just a little bit firmer than the floret, but it's still coming up beautifully. Okay, that'll do. Now the idea is just to put the rice already in a nice clean white bowl. And for some strange reason, I really like nice white clean bowls when it comes to rice, because it just looks nice from my point of view. You can use anything you like. So just put that in there. And honestly, this just looks like rice. I don't need a lot of that. Let's put that over there and let you have a little look. See, do you see how that's turned out? Actually, from where you are looking at the video right now, you wouldn't know the difference, whether that was rice or whether it was cauliflower. But the texture's the same. And after you've done it a couple of times, you'll actually get the hang of just getting the consistency right. So we'll just put that to one side. Now the next thing we do is we're going to make up our sauce, and we're going to use our bullet here. So I'll just change over the power cord. Kitchen is very, very well designed, but there's a couple of design faults. One is not having a PowerPoint on the bench, which is a bit of a nuisance, but never mind. We worked that out. Okay, so here you're actually going to use bits and pieces. Now, you may remember that, you saw that recently. That is actually the tail end of some spaghetti that I did, and I'm going to not waste the courgette or zucchini, whatever you like to call it. I won't use those other bits because they're just a little bit too far gone. And because I'm preparing this for myself tonight, I'm only going to just use smaller portions of vegetables, and you can do the same. So there goes the celery. A lovely, lovely banana pepper. I don't bother taking the stones out of that. Actually, this is a bell pepper, so it's sweet, it's not hot. I'll put that in there as well. I'll put in half a carrot, which is really, really lovely, and I actually will chop that up. It just makes the job of making the whole thing a lot easier. Now, let's put the ginger in. Now, there's a teaspoon of ginger in there, or the equivalent. It's quite a lot of ginger, but at this time of the year where I live, it is the winter months, and curry warms you up. Let's put a small clove of garlic in. This was actually a small chili. I've now cut it in half, so I'm going to use 1/2 chili in there, and that's about it. A little bit of the coconut. I'm not going to use it all. I'll put some coconut on top to save that, and some lime juice, which we'll put in there right away. Now, lime makes it go really, really sweet. Again, you can use lemon juice if you want. Not a problem. Now, if you haven't worked out that you need to plant either a lemon or lime tree in your backyard, or on your patio, or in your courtyard, or wherever you might live, then go ahead, get out there this weekend to the to the nursery and grab yourself a citrus tree, because they are one of God's gifts. They're absolutely stunning. I will just put that in there, and I'm not using my new Flicky tonight. Now, you say, okay, what curry powder I'm using? This is actually authentic curry powder, Clive of India. It doesn't have any emulsifiers in it, doesn't have any added sugar to it. The ingredients are really straightforward. Coriander, turmeric, fennel, black pepper, cumin, chili powder, fenugreek, garlic granules, ginger and salt. Absolutely marvellous, and it's a sea salt. So I'm just going to add that to that. Now I know how much works for me. I've got on the recipe around about 3 good dessert spoons. All right, you don't need as much as that, obviously, for what I'm doing now. Okay, now I'm going to add just a little bit more cumin, which actually gives it a bit of a zing, just a zap. And you do this a couple of times, and you'll start to get the hang of it. We'll throw some oil in there, just to give it a nuttiness and also give it a lovely shine, basically. And here's some lovely almond milk. And just fill that right up to the top. There we go. Now that's going to be quite thick by the end of it. If you need to make it any thicker or thinner, depending on what you've got in there, you can just leave that to the end. Oopsie-daisy. I will put in just a little bit of seasoning. Okay, I'll put in a little bit of the sea salt, which just sweetens it up. That's fine, and I don't think we need pepper because it's hot enough, but if you want to put some in, that's okay too. So just put the lid on the trusty bullet, and away we go. These are fabulous, you know, absolutely fabulous. They're so convenient. They're so flexible, they're so handy. You can do small amounts and you can do large amounts. Essentially, the liquid that I'm doing will do 2 or 3 people. The rice is quite a lot of rice here, probably more than I'd normally have, but if I pour the liquid over the top. Okie doke. So that's it. It's quite liquidy, and I'll just have a little bit of a taste. Oh, that's delicious. My God. I'm going to put some greens in here. And again, I just forgot to put those in. Put the greens in. And I'll put a little bit more celery. Now that I know I can fit it all in. And I'll put some more carrot in here. Now this will probably last me a couple of days, in all honesty. I'll put this in here too. Now I've got a little bit of coriander. I did say mint on the menu, but on the recipe. But I put the coriander in there as well. Put the lid back on. Let's just use up this lime juice. And again, you know what I'm doing here? I'm just going with the flow. I'm not being too hard and stuck on the recipe. Recipes are guidelines only. They're guidelines just to ensure there's no anarchy in the kitchen. If you know what I mean. Okie doke. Now. All right, everything in here essentially has been designed to warm the system, and that's the key, especially during winter months. And you know, when you actually put warm spices and herbs and things into your body, the body will internally warm itself. You don't need to have something piping hot in order to sort of qualify for the whole warmth thing. That's it. I've just made a curry, and I'll just spoon that onto the top. I already know this is going to be delicious. I'll just spoon that onto there. Oh, colour is fab. The colour is just sensational. And that's it. It doesn't matter if there's a few lumps in it. You know, that's just, how to describe it? It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. What other word can you use except beautiful? Put a little bit of the coriander or mint on the top. Mint goes well with it as well. And just a drizzle of oil, just to give it a nuttiness. And a grind of pepper over the top. Oh, actually, where's the coconut? Because it is, after all, coconut, isn't it? So we'll put a bit of coconut on here too. There's coconut in it. And that just adds another lovely sweetness to it. And there, my dear friends, is a lovely coconut rice. It's vegetable curry, should I say, vegetable curry with coconut, and the rice underneath is actually just blended cauliflower, and this is sensational. So what I'll do is I'll save that for a sec just to get a picture or two, and then I'll come back and let you know what it tastes like. Okay, so until the next video, I hope you're having heaps of fun and you're really getting into this living natural food thing, this raw food thing, because I tell you what, it makes the world of difference to how you feel. Until the next video, I'm Scott. Cheerio. Bye. Okay, so here we are with this lovely vegetable curry with coconut and cauliflower rice. Now let's just dig into this and have a little look-see and taste what it... So sweet. So aromatic. I've really hit the spot as far as the combination is concerned. You will learn after a couple that after you make a couple that certain weighty hands with curry really gives you something too strong. But I've got it right. The lime juice happens to send it off beautifully. The curry on the top is just beautiful. So look, I hope you enjoy it just as much as I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.